You need to hear this if you're a history enthusiast. Welcome to Tech and Trek, where we explore the past powered by the future. Halloween, a night of costumes and candy. But beneath the surface, a darker story waits. We dress as creatures of the night. We carve faces into pumpkins. We tell tales of ghosts and spirits. These traditions are echoes of something ancient, something that speaks of a time when the line between our world and the next was thin. This is the story of Samhain, the precursor to Halloween, a night of both celebration and fear. Imagine a time before electricity, before streetlights, when the only light came from the moon and stars. For the ancient Celts, this darkness held power. It was a time when spirits walked among us. Samhain marked the end of the harvest season, the end of summer's warmth and the beginning of winter's cold. It was a time to honor the dead and to celebrate the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. On this night, the veil between the worlds thinned. Spirits could cross over. The living and the dead could commune. It was a time of both danger and opportunity, a time to appease the spirits and seek their guidance. The Celts celebrated with bonfires, feasts, and rituals. They left offerings for the dead and wore costumes to ward off evil. These traditions, passed down through generations, would eventually evolve into the Halloween we know today. To understand Samhain, we must journey back in time. We must travel to the lands of the ancient Celts. These people, with their rich culture and deep connection to nature, inhabited parts of Europe over 2,000 years ago. Their world was filled with magic and mystery. They saw spirits in the trees, the rivers, and the wind. The Celts lived in harmony with the cycles of nature. They were farmers, warriors, and storytellers. Their lives were governed by the seasons, and no night was more sacred to them than Samhain. For the Celts, the year was divided into two halves, the light and the dark. Samhain, falling around October 31st, marked the transition from the light half to the dark. It was the end of the harvest, a time when the days grew shorter and the nights longer. The veil between the worlds, they believed, was at its thinnest on this night. The Celts believed that on Samhain, the spirits of the dead could more easily cross over to the realm of the living. It was a time of both celebration and trepidation. They honored the dead, but they also feared them. To mark this sacred night, the Celts engaged in elaborate rituals. Huge bonfires blazed, casting flickering shadows against the night sky. These fires served a dual purpose. They were a way to honor the dead and to drive away evil spirits. People would often leap over the flames, believing it would bring them good luck and purification. Offerings of food and drink were left out for the spirits, a way to appease them and ensure a peaceful transition into the dark half of the year. Costumes, often made from animal skins and heads, were worn to ward off evil spirits or to disguise oneself from them. The story of Samhain, like many ancient traditions, is one of evolution and adaptation. As centuries passed and empires rose and fell, Samhain encountered new influences, forever altering its course. The Roman Empire, with its legions and its gods, expanded its reach, eventually encompassing much of the Celtic world. This clash of cultures brought about a merging of traditions, a blending of the old with the new. The Romans, with their own pantheon of gods and goddesses, recognized similarities between their beliefs and those of the Celts. They saw in Samhain echoes of their own festivals, such as Feralia, a time to honor the dead. This cultural exchange, however, was not always peaceful. The Romans, eager to assert their dominance, often sought to suppress Celtic traditions, viewing them as barbaric or pagan. The rise of Christianity presented the most significant challenge to Samhain's survival. As Christianity spread throughout Europe, it clashed with existing pagan beliefs, including those surrounding Samhain. The early church, determined to convert the masses, sought to eradicate pagan practices, often demonizing them as the work of the devil. Samhain, with its emphasis on spirits and the dead, became a prime target for Christian authorities. Despite the church's efforts, Samhain proved remarkably resilient. People clung to their ancient traditions, finding ways to celebrate them in secret or under the guise of Christian holidays. The church, realizing the futility of outright suppression, adopted a different strategy: assimilation. Rather than attempting to eliminate Samhain entirely, they sought to absorb it into the Christian calendar. In the 7th century AD, Pope Boniface IV designated November 1st as All Saints' Day, a day to honor all Christian saints, known and unknown. This strategic move coincided with, or perhaps was intended to overshadow, the pagan celebration of Samhain. The evening before All Saints' Day, October 31st, became known as All Hallows' Eve, or Halloween. It was a time for prayer and reflection, a stark contrast to the raucous celebrations of Samhain. Over time, elements of Samhain, stripped of their overt pagan meanings, were incorporated into the observance of All Hallows' Eve. The wearing of costumes, once a way to ward off evil spirits, became a way for children to dress as saints. The bonfires, originally lit to honor the dead and drive away evil spirits, were now associated with the triumph of light over darkness, a central theme in Christian theology. This blending of pagan and Christian traditions continued for centuries, resulting in the unique holiday we know as Halloween today. While the overt religious significance of All Hallows' Eve faded, many of the customs associated with Samhain persisted. The carving of pumpkins, for example, is thought to have originated with the Celtic practice of carving turnips and placing candles inside to represent spirits or guide them to the afterlife. Trick-or-treating, while a relatively recent addition to Halloween celebrations, may have roots in ancient customs of leaving food offerings for spirits or going door-to-door singing songs in exchange for treats. Halloween, then, is a testament to the enduring power of tradition. A fascinating example of how ancient beliefs can evolve and adapt, even in the face of suppression and assimilation. As Halloween evolved, it faced periods of both acceptance and suppression. During the Middle Ages, the Church's influence was paramount. Samhain's pagan roots made it a target of suspicion. Church leaders often denounced Halloween as a time of witchcraft and devil worship. They sought to stamp out its more pagan elements, fearing they undermined Christian beliefs. Despite the Church's efforts, many Halloween traditions persisted. People continued to tell ghost stories, light bonfires, and celebrate the thinning of the veil between worlds. This tension between ancient beliefs and religious doctrine shaped Halloween for centuries. It highlights the enduring power of tradition, even in the face of opposition. The fear surrounding Halloween intensified during the early modern period, particularly in Europe and colonial America. The Salem witch trials of the late 17th century cast a long shadow over the holiday. Fueled by superstition, religious extremism, and social paranoia, these trials resulted in the execution of individuals accused of witchcraft. Halloween, associated with magic and the supernatural, became entangled in this climate of fear. This period saw Halloween celebrations become more subdued in some regions. The holiday's darker aspects, once celebrated openly, were now often practiced in secret or abandoned altogether. The fear of witchcraft and the unknown left its mark on Halloween, contributing to its reputation as a time of both celebration and trepidation. It serves as a reminder of the dangers of unchecked fear and superstition. In the 20th century, Halloween underwent a dramatic transformation. As societies became more secular and consumerism grew, the holiday shifted away from its religious and superstitious roots. Halloween became increasingly commercialized with a focus on costumes, candy, and decorations. The ancient traditions, while still present, were often overshadowed by the holiday's more commercial aspects. This commercialization, while arguably detracting from Halloween's historical depth, also contributed to its widespread popularity. Halloween became a secular holiday enjoyed by people of all ages and backgrounds. However, this shift towards commercialism raised questions about the authenticity of modern Halloween celebrations. Have we lost sight of the holiday's deeper meaning amidst the costumes and candy? In recent years, there has been a growing movement to reclaim the ancient roots of Halloween, to look beyond the commercialized facade and reconnect with the deeper meaning of Samhain. This movement is driven by a desire to honor the past, to celebrate Celtic heritage, and to explore the spiritual significance of this ancient festival. Modern practitioners of Samhain often incorporate elements of the ancient Celtic traditions into their celebrations. They may light bonfires, leave offerings for the dead, or hold dumb suppers, silent meals where an extra place is set at the table for deceased loved ones. This revival of interest in Samhain is part of a larger trend of people seeking out connections to their heritage to find meaning and identity in the traditions of their ancestors. For many people of Celtic descent, celebrating Samhain is a way to connect with their cultural identity, to honor the traditions of their ancestors, and to keep their heritage alive. It is a time to tell the old stories, to sing the old songs, and to remember those who came before. Samhain celebrations often incorporate elements of Celtic music, dance, and storytelling. These art forms, passed down through generations, offer a glimpse into the rich cultural heritage of the Celts. By keeping these traditions alive, modern practitioners of Samhain are ensuring that the stories, beliefs, and values of their ancestors are not forgotten. Bridging the divide. The story of Samhain and Halloween is a reminder that traditions are not static. They evolve, adapt, and blend together over time. Halloween, as we know it today, is a tapestry woven from threads of ancient Celtic beliefs, Christian traditions, and modern commercialism. Understanding the history of Halloween allows us to appreciate the richness and complexity of this holiday. It encourages us to look beyond the surface and to recognize the enduring influence of the past on the present. By acknowledging the ancient roots of Halloween, we can foster a greater appreciation for cultural diversity and the interconnectedness of human experience. The enduring spirit of Samhain. From the mists of time, the spirit of Samhain endures, a night that once instilled both reverence and fear in the hearts of the ancient Celts. It continues to hold a strange power over us, even as it has transformed into the modern celebration of Halloween. While we may no longer gather around bonfires to appease the spirits of our ancestors, the echoes of those ancient rituals linger in our jack-o'-lanterns, our costumes, and our tales of ghosts and goblins. The veil between the worlds may seem thinner now, obscured by the bright lights and constant distractions of modern life, but the human fascination with what lies beyond, with the mysteries of life and death, remains as strong as ever. Halloween, then, is more than just a holiday. It is a living testament to the enduring power of tradition, a thread connecting us to our distant past. It reminds us that the stories we tell, the rituals we practice, and the beliefs we hold shape our understanding of the world around us. And in a world often driven by the relentless march of progress, it is both humbling and empowering to recognize the enduring influence of the past on the present. A legacy etched in time. Samhain's legacy is woven into our culture. From literature and art to music and film, the themes of death, rebirth, and the supernatural resonate today. Seen in Gothic novels and horror films, our fascination with the unknown endures. As we don costumes and carve pumpkins, remember the ancient origins of this holiday. From a pagan festival to a global phenomenon, Halloween is a night for reflection and remembrance. Unmasking the past, embracing the present. As the veil between the worlds thins once more this Halloween, take a moment to consider the ancient echoes that resonate through the centuries. The ghosts and goblins, the costumes and candy, all whisper tales of a time when the boundaries between the living and the dead were blurred, when the cycle of life, death, and rebirth held a profound significance. This Halloween, go beyond the surface, delve into the rich history that lies beneath the costumes and commercialism. Research the ancient Celts, their beliefs and their traditions. Explore the evolution of Samhain, from pagan festival to Christian holiday to modern celebration. Discover how this ancient festival continues to influence our culture, our beliefs, and our relationship with the unknown. Share what you learn with others. Discuss the origins of Halloween with your friends and family. Encourage them to look beyond the commercialized facade and appreciate the deeper meaning behind this beloved holiday. By understanding the past, we gain a greater understanding of ourselves and the world around us. And who knows, you might even discover a newfound appreciation for the ancient spirits that walk among us, whispering tales of a time when the veil between the worlds was thin and the magic of Samhain illuminated the night. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time. At Tech and Trek, we explore the past powered by the future. Subscribe for more fascinating insights into history and technology. Until next time, keep exploring.